I'm Victor Glenn from MyPoint TV in Austin, Texas. Fredericksburg, Texas is a small community surrounded by vineyards and draws millions of tourists annually for the shopping, museums, and picturesque countryside. As part of that bustling tourism industry, short-term rentals like Airbnbs and VRBOs are common, which has some residents and prospective residents unhappy.
A little over 700 short-term rentals here in our community. So there's a variety of different issues we're dealing with the what we call STRs right now. Number one is some of the residents in our neighborhood are getting concerned that there's too many short-term rentals. They're moving into some of the neighborhoods, and in certain cases, they're occupying a lot of the houses in certain blocks in certain neighborhoods.
A major concern for the city is that the high number of STRs is cutting into the available housing market. This is compounded by the high occupancy of area apartments, 98% full according to city staff. The Short-Term Rental Alliance, a group of STR owners who've banded together, say their businesses don't come close to having an impact.
And I think it's also an interesting piece of data that what typically happens, as I mentioned earlier, is you might have a few bad apples that are operating as STRs, but only 6% of the available housing in the city is STRs. 6%. That's not a big number. It's actually a very small number. So that to say that we're actually impacting directly affordable housing or housing, just the availability of housing is a little bit silly.
One voice absent from this story, those finding it hard to locate housing in Fredericksburg. Their voice is absent for one very simple reason. They aren't around to ask. But city staff are concerned that the scarcity of what they call workforce housing will begin to impact the city. Furthermore, those that do live in Fredericksburg are voicing unhappiness with the issues that come from a high number of tourists staying in residential neighborhoods.
The other concern deals with a variety of different code enforcement issues that include trash, includes parking, includes, of course, noise, spas in backyards, and fire pits, and just a variety of different concerns that our residents have about their operations.
The STR Alliance is currently looking to discuss and possibly minimize new ordinances that city officials are considering to temper issues seemingly caused by STRs, including one aimed at limiting the number of new STRs that apply for their permits.
In response to that, last May, the city did come forward. They presented some information about what they were thinking with ordinances, but they really had no data to support what they were wanting to accomplish. So, for instance, when asked, how many complaints do you get a week about things in this town? They said, well, we don't collect that data. And so I think the problem is that they had already come with solutions to problems that they didn't know.
Two key defenses the STR Alliance raises include property rights, those of homeowners to use their property for income, as well as the sheer amount of hotel tax revenue and booking revenue and shopping revenue that STR guests add to the economy. The STRs have actually outperformed the city's traditional hotel industry for the past few years as people seek to immerse themselves in the community and put distance between themselves and other tourists during COVID. I'm Victor Glenn from MyPoint TV, and that's how I see it. But what are your thoughts on the challenges facing Fredericksburg in terms of housing availability and the small business owners' contributions to the economy?